So, manga creators are in jeopardy. This is a subject matter I've been thinking for a while that has become quite a prominent issue in the manga industry, specifically this year in regards to series cancellations, by a small magazine you probably never heard of, called Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is of course publishing house to many iconic series, old and new, that is also infamous for axing titles made by new creators who are just starting out in the industry. Or even old veterans. There's no discrimination here, I assure you. All due to whether a manga is selling well or not, or is popular enough according to their projections. Yes, we know the magazine for its iconic manga series, but that's also because Shonen Jump is actively looking for manga creators who can bring them their next Naruto, One Piece, or My Hero Academia. The last 2 years in particular have been nerve-inducing for the magazine. Many big shonen titles such as IQ, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and plenty more reach their inevitable conclusions, and others like the aforementioned My Hero are also reaching their final arcs. Shonen Jump desperately needs new series to replace previous heavy hitters, and carry over the massive results they've provided them over the years. Unfortunately, in turn, smaller series that don't meet those standards, that may have moderate success in sales, but not nearly enough to reach such high standards just after a couple of chapters and volumes, get cancelled, forcing their stories to end abruptly only a couple of weeks, best case scenario maybe months, before its characters and themes can be properly fleshed out. This has to be incredibly frustrating for authors and artists, no doubt, who put so much of their own sweat and tears into a project trying to add and bring to the industry their own unique voices and creative ideas. It's also difficult for their new, or in the case of fairly well-known creators, their already established fanbase, to recommend a series that most likely will get cancelled before the following week is even over. Again, this policy of Jump has been around for many years, but the reason why it's worrying me so much now is because too many series are being cancelled so close to each other, faster than a long-running CW show. And what's even more worrying is that this is a big, and I mean a really popular and well-established manga publishing house, one of the industry's greatest, if not the greatest. Well, but if that's the case, why not simply go to another publisher/magazine and try to get their manga released there? And it's a fair question to make indeed, but it doesn't absolve the issue. If big company houses like Shonen Jump promote habits such as this, what keeps other manga publishers from doing the same? Many mangaka and animators in Japan work under less than ideal environments, under very strict release deadlines, are underpaid for the amount of hours provided, severe lack of rest and healthcare, and on top of all of that, they still have to deal with the lingering fear of cancellation. It all adds to a systemic issue that branches out to more companies, not just Shonen Jump. It's crazy to think that a series like Ayashimon, from the creator of Hell's Paradise, a profitable, well-beloved manga from fans, gets cancelled prematurely. Even crazier to think Samurai 8, by Kishimoto himself, the creator of one of the most successful manga on all markets in Naruto, also had his newest series cancelled after only a couple of chapters. To be fair, I don't know the inner workings of their release strategies, but I do wonder, why not have this series continue on digital platforms instead? Kaiju No. 8 and Spy Family have found great success this way in Japan. Shonen Jump created a whole other branch meant for digital releases, which include these two series, so why not try and see if this cancelled manga can find brand new success this way? No, Undead Unluck is no Spy Family. And no, the format in which they're released is not indicative of their overall quality or reception. But Western markets have also proven some of this series have a strong fanbase, willing to continue supporting and buy out volumes. Viz Media just recently announced Ayashimon is getting English printed releases of its volumes. If the series got cancelled after a few chapters, why make such a move, if not for certain demand? There are clearly people out there who have enjoyed or want to enjoy this kind of manga and want to read it. The exact same scenario also seen for another recent series, one made by an assistant of Horikoshi's on My Hero, called The Hunter's Guild Red Hood. Another series with a fierce demand that's also getting an English release. So my suggestion is, stop ignoring your Western fanbase. The Western market is huge, why would you ignore it in the first place? I was actually shocked when I learned that some animation studios in Japan, such as Cloverworks for example, are unaware of having a dedicated Western fanbase in the first place. Is it hard to imagine manga publishing houses think the same way? Different cultures, different sensibilities, understandably, which is why I do admire their efforts to not change their works in regards to cultural differences. But there are consumers, so many, that also respect that fact, and promote and buy their products regardless. In fact, it's those different sensibilities that draw Westerners and make them want to consume your products. How come Japan as a country and financial market knows this and bets so much of its economy on tourism that draws in Western foreigners, highlighting those differences in culture? But manga and anime companies can't do the same and are unaware of it. If your series aren't popular enough for a Japanese audience, why not continue their run specifically for their Western audiences who clearly want to see more, who connect with those kinds of stories more? Manga has never been as popular as it is nowadays. In fact, manga has overperformed comic books and has been doing so consistently over this past couple of years. You have a massive Western market willing to support your series and manga creators. To me, it's clear that the future for a lot of these authors and artists lies in a Western market. So why not make the jump, quite literally? It may just save a lot of manga creators in the process. I hope you've enjoyed this video. A little bit more passion in this one, but only because I respect a lot of artists, and I genuinely think such an unfortunate and unfairly uneven situation can be turned upside down, or at least it should be. As always, I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Mata ne.